We're letting her rip this week on the Front Stretch Pod with the newest Xfinity Series winner. What took you so long, Ty Gibbs? I mean, I've been waiting this whole time, and you finally got it done, so it's about time.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what to say still. It's definitely a whirlwind of emotions and in the last couple of days it's been really crazy to get as much attention before and positive attention too, which is really rare
Yeah.
for me. So it's awesome and I can't thank everybody enough and all the fans and support out there. It's really cool to see this.
I was listening to you on Door Bumper Clear literally like minutes before we just hopped on here, and I heard you say that, you're not used to getting positive attention, period, let alone this much. So it must be a bit of an adjustment for you seeing all this positivity on social media instead of all these haters and negativity. It's a good change, though, I bet.
Yeah, for sure. It's I'm very thankful for all the fans out there that are supporting me and it's been a really big past couple days.
Yeah, for sure. Who was the coolest person that hit you up like in the days following that
Oh,
gave you a
I got
congratulatory message? All right, give me. Who is it?
so this guy followed me. I watched him in a lot of movies. I was so stoked. Like I called my dad, my mom. Vanilla Ice followed me on Instagram. I have no
Really?
clue why or how. Um,
Wow.
but that was the coolest out of everything. I like. I mean, all the cup driver. That's all that I like. That's super still really cool to me,
Yeah.
and it's super cool to see all the comments. But for Vanilla Ice to follow me on Instagram, I was like, "What? Are you kidding me? Am I
Damn.
looking at this?" So I was going through my followers because I got 8,000 followers in like 48 hours. So I was
Oh
scrolling
yeah,
through all of
blew
my
up.
I couldn't find people that followed me that I knew. Like it was just like crazy how much attention it was, how many texts I got and DMs and tweets. It was just
Wow.
so much. It was so cool.
I'll one up you. I don't know why, but legitimately, like 6 years ago, when like Twitter was kind of early, even back then,
Yeah,
Vanilla, I followed him because I was like, oh, celebrity, cool, I'll follow him. He randomly followed me back.
that's
So he's been
awesome.
following me for like 6 years.
Seriously,
So welcome
that's
to the
awesome.
club.
Well, yeah, I made it. I made it behind you.
I know. It's so cool. Is it because does he have an association with Monster? Forgive me for not knowing
I
because
maybe he might have an association with Monster. I don't know too
yeah.
much, but it's awesome for sure.
Because I think he did like a video in Key West with Kurt Busch and Michael Waltrip or something, and I just remember
Oh
he was
yeah,
like
that's
drinking a
right.
monster or something. So that makes sense. It's still
Yeah,
so badass though.
it's I
Vanilla
can't.
Ice just
I
following
know
you. Wow,
that was the biggest thing. Yeah, for sure,
he's a legend. That's crazy.
big time.
I'm sure a lot of Cup drivers and even your counterparts now in Xfinity as well hit you up and congratulated you. I thought it was funny that when you won, Christopher Bell quoted a tweet and said, "Congrats, first of many," and then the next day you say the exact same thing. So good weekend in the JGR household, I would say.
For sure, man. It was a great weekend for us, and to have Christopher get his first or cup win and have my first Xfinity win, it was super cool for the house. And no, it's the guys are it's showing the hard work they all pay off.
Yeah, for sure. So I know that when you were able to get with your grandfather afterwards, once everything kind of started to settle down, you were doing the post race Zooms. I'll be honest, I was kind of laughing because I know you and, I know how passionate you are about this stuff. And, after you win, it's a whirlwind of a lot of things. And you were doing the typical Todd thing. You're like, I don't know where my head's at. I just can't
Mhm.
wrap my head around what's going on right now. But when you were finally able to sit down for a second, and I'm sure you gave your grandpa a big hug, what did you guys say? And what was that moment like for you? Because I know it had to be a really, really big deal.
Yeah, so the biggest thing was like NASCAR with the COVID protocols. They were trying to keep us apart, but
Right.
I went up and gave him knuckles, and what we finally I made sure I stayed away the certain amount of distance. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, we were all stoked, and the family was so happy, and it was the first emotion I felt like after I was so tired in the interviews. I had to get up. You
I
saw me
could
get up at
tell.
one point. I couldn't like. I was
You were
just
like,
sitting
I'm
there.
not feeling too good. I need some water.
Yeah, I needed like I felt dehydrated. My ears were still ringing, and I was just like falling asleep. So that was like the biggest thing. That was like the first thing I felt. And I went after we finished our interviews, I went back and I had a little bit of chili, which was amazing. Like the
Bomb.
best chili I've ever had. Have on an empty stomach with like nothing in my stomach, no water. Like the chili was so good. It was like a 10 out of 10.
Where was
And
it from?
it was so the people that helped my grandfather out, they do a lot of his cooking and stuff. So they made us chili and
Nice.
they for him that for the next day. And so I got some and I've never that been so grateful for chili in my entire life.
Winter's chili, baby.
Oh,
Sounds
so
good.
good. Better, so much better than going to Steak and Shake. I
Well, I'll say this: if you end
can't
up
break a
winning a,
tradition.
I know. Well, if you end up winning a Daytona 500 one day, instead of going to Steak and Shake, you can take Denny and your grandpa and get some chili.
We do, yeah, we go do, or we can get chili at Steak and Shake. They have it there too.
Do they?
It might be a win for a win. Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm not a Steak and Shake guy, but if they got chili, the more the merrier. That way you can carry on the
that's
team tradition
oh
and
for
get what you
sure.
want.
Yeah,
That works.
it will work out.
So on the last lap, Ty, or I guess coming to the last lap, when you went through the grass, or I guess you can consider it sand, dirt, whatever. I mean, I think everybody in their right mind said, well, that's it. That's over. What were you thinking? Because I'm sure at some point you had to be saying, all right, this is the end. God damn it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you come through and you made it.
Yeah, so and that like I was so focused, I felt like that I still don't remember a lot of the stuff that happened because I was like so in detail, like of focusing on every single little thing.
Yeah.
So I remember watching Brandon come over a little bit, which is his right, like he had the line, but I came in there at so much speed that I had like if I would have locked him up, I would have wrecked him and Jed Burton.
Mm-hmm.
So I just ran through the grass. I feel like because I could have split them if I would have gone off the track. And somehow it stuck. I think because of the sand, the truck guys wrecked a lot of stuff in turn one,
Yeah.
so I think it
Yeah.
was a lot of really sandy, and the grass was really dry down there. And when I hit it, it just kind of just was like a puff of dust, and somehow I stayed on the track. I don't know how that was. God took the wheel at that point for honestly for me.
Jesus, take the wheel. It worked.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that was for sure a
yeah.
quote there.
It's crazy too because the next day, I mean, you saw Kyle, he went through the grass on lap one and it messed up his whole day. I mean, Brad went through it one time. I think he got unscathed, so did Chase. But for the most part, especially the night before with the truck race, I mean, the grass was just eating everybody's trucks and cars up. And when I saw you go there, I was like, oh, he's done so well tonight. Don't
Yeah.
mess this up now. And then when I saw you get through it, I'm like, all right, he's got this in the bag. So then from that point forward, once you realize and you saw the dirt fly over your windshield, you're like, all right, I'm good. I don't know how, but I'm
Yeah.
good. Take me through your mindset then, and what were the steps that you made consciously in your head, or was it kind of just a blur in terms of getting the lead back?
So it was, I feel like the way I could explain my mindset is like I was like on a mission, a military mission, and I was making sure I was completing each task. So going through the grass and making the next corner. Like after I went through the grass, I remember I was like focused on just making the next corner and and the next corner after that and making sure I didn't run off the track or wheel hop or lock the tires up. I was so focused like on just like hitting my marks
Yeah.
and so at peace too. I wasn't nervous and everybody thinks I was nervous, but I was so at peace and as times like because I was so focused that I was just like making sure I was like, all right, that's completed. Let's go to the next one, on the next one, on the next one, on the next one. That's how I feel like I finished the whole or did the whole race. They're so much longer than the ARC races, so it was
Yeah.
a little bit of a different day for me.
See, I find that interesting because you would think, and I think Brett brought it up on DBC, it's your first start, you're leading on the last lap, up by over a second. You would
Oh,
think to just take it easy and just coast to the victory, but you ran your fastest lap of the race on the last lap, and
yeah.
you weren't on brand new tires at that point, and you clearly were pretty tired at that point as well. Plus, as you said, you were at peace. You would think that your mind would be racing 1,000 miles an hour. Where does that come from? How are you so zen in that moment, one of the biggest of your life?
I don't honestly, I feel like at that point, I think God kind of just took the reins on me. And I remember I was praying, I was like, God, just please, like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's what I was saying. I'm like, just please, like, just calm me down. Because I remember I was a little bit anxious after we were in 12th after the pit stop. So I think he really helped, like, just kind of pull me into my own dimension and let me focus. And I feel like in my life, I've never focused that hard on, like, in anything at all in those moments. So I feel like I can handle the most stressful moments in life, but and off of the track and non most like the no stress at all. I'm like not that I'm like a terrible
Yeah,
person. So
yeah.
that's like it's crazy how I feel like I was built almost mentally.
Built different.
Not yeah, if you want to say that, but in a weird
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
like just so it's just I was just so lucky to be in this position and blessed. But just to be so focused like that, I've never experienced. That was something I'll remember for a long time.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Where are you going to keep the trophy? Have you figured out a
So I've
place?
got it sitting. I've got it sitting right outside of my room here. I've got kind of a
Okay.
couple of them lined up. So I don't really know yet. I want to get a little race shop just so I can put a bunch of stuff in there, which is something I've really been wanting to do lately.
I
Um,
think you may
so
know a guy who can help you out with
for sure.
that.
I just need to win the championship in the ARCA series. Maybe take
Hmm.
that car and stick it in there. I've been to Kurt and Kurt's shop and Kyle's shop and a bunch of the race car driver shops. So like having old cars like that is just something I think that would be a cool dream. And just to put like you had so many memories in that car
Yeah.
and that championship car. So kind of spreading that out, I think that'd be really cool.
Do you know what's going to happen with the car? Because you would think your first
I,
win on a road course, like, let's keep that thing. But at the
that's what
same
I'm keeping
time,
it.
are you? Well, are you going to
Yeah,
run it again this year, though? That's my question.
yeah, for sure. That car was it was really good. I mean, I haven't driven any other Xfinity cars before, but like I
Yeah.
feel like that car was really had a good platform and a good base behind it. So I feel like I'm gonna keep that. We're probably gonna put some body panels on it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it and run a couple more times this year.
Yeah. Make sure you don't tear it up,
Fast.
though, because you got to save that thing.
That's right. I can't tear it up.
Yeah. Don't go through the grass or the quicksand or anything. We got to keep
No.
that in pristine condition, my man.
Yep. Pristine. Very nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I got another question about the Xfinity race in general. So on DBC, you said that the first time you sat in the car and started it up, that was your first time ever sitting in an Xfinity car. And then, when you heard the motor and you started racing, you're like, oh man, this is badass. This feels like a race car again. So, and I'm watching on TV. I'm sure you watch all the races as well. I mean,
Mhm.
when you look at the Cup Series, Truck, Xfinity, ARCA, ARCA East, ARCA West, what have you, I think for my money's worth, Xfinity has the best racing in all of NASCAR right now. And that was kind of backed up by your comments by saying, like that race car, the feel of it in the seat of your pants, you hadn't felt that in a while, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like compared to like a high downforce, low power car.
For sure.
I love the Xfinity car on I love it so much. Like it's
Me
my new
too.
favorite car I've ever drove. I've drove road course cars and everything. So it has it covered. And it's
Yeah.
so much of it feels like NASCAR did a great job at building it and the Xfinity series as a whole. Like
Hmm.
the car drives it's on the edge and you're struggling for grip the whole time, the tires and that motor, you've got a ton of power. So it was really cool. Like it was just like and I would think like maybe getting into something that has a lot of grip, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, like this thing drives really good. But getting in something like that has no grip, but you're racing, and I think
Yeah.
that's the most fun I've ever had before riding a race car.
Especially on road courses too, because as you
Yeah,
see, I mean,
because
everybody's,
you're coming in the corner sideways and you're
yeah.
braking, you're trying to wheel hop, you're on edge, and people are on different lines into the corners and wheel and locking the tires up. So it was I think it was a really hard race, and I don't even know how I have no clue how I pulled. I no like honestly no clue how I pulled it off.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because, as you and I have talked about for a long time, back going to the K&N days, right? I mean, your last name is what it is, and people label you a certain way because of that. And
Mhm.
I think that's what made your emotions so heightened after the race when you climbed out of the car. And I think, from my perspective, you shut a lot of the haters up. And that's why
Yeah.
you see a lot of the positivity on social media and stuff like that. But I'm curious, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, but all those people labeling you a certain way because of what your last name is and not actually knowing who you are as a person away from the racetrack and not actually seeing your skills as a race car driver behind the wheel, does that piss you off at all, or is it more so just come with the territory?
That's just something I've dealt with in life. And there's a cool Bible verse that says that if the world hasn't hated you yet, it's hated me yet, and that's something that God said. So I've kind of kept that in the back of my head, and I found something I love, and I feel like anybody that finds something you love, you're not going to let anybody tell you what's wrong or
Yeah.
and what's not to do. So I more do racing for me myself and my family. Our family's been in it for so long, and my family loves it. My dad loves it, and he's helped me out a lot. And I don't really do it just for the feel or just for the fans. I don't like to prove any. I could care less about proving anybody which way or wrong. Like I
Yeah.
could have everybody against me or everybody with me. I still want to go out there and race, and I'm doing it because I love it. I'm very thankful to be in the position I am in, and a lot of people can't do their dream job as a daily deal. So I'm very, very thankful and blessed to be in this position and where I'm in life.
Damn right. It's well said as well.
Thank you.
I wish your parents were able to be there to celebrate with you
Yeah,
because
my mom
that's
was there. My mom, so I couldn't see my mom, which sucked, but she watched it in person, so that was
okay.
really cool to be there. And I saw my grandpa; he was there too, so
Hmm.
it was good to have my family there for sure.
I love watching your grandpa during the races because when you won your first K&N West race at Phoenix, which is going to be your next Xfinity race, which we'll get to in a minute, I was standing by your pit box. That was when you were driving the 46 car. It was such a weird number for you, I
40.
feel. 40, sorry. There you go.
I think it looked so good though. Like,
It did. It did. I like the fours with the monster font, like in the 54, like you
yeah,
drove. It's
I think
nice.
the 54's got a place in my heart though, over any
It
number.
has to now. I mean, come
Yes.
on.
I'm two in a
Um,
row with that number two, which is really cool because I won
that's
the
true.
last race I was in the 54. I was in Loudon, New Hampshire. So
Yeah,
it's
I
been on
remember
like
that. So I remember like watching your grandpa at your pit box at Phoenix in the closing laps, and I mean he was standing there pretty much the whole race.
yeah.
And he just all he does is just when your car goes by him on the front stretch, he watches it, and then when it goes away, he looks at the big screen. And he does that for like 20 straight laps at the end of the race, sometimes for the whole entire race. And he did the exact same thing at the Daytona Road Course this past weekend too. And I found that video that I took at Phoenix, and I tweeted them out like right back and forth to
Yeah.
each other because I thought that's a really cool thing. I mean, obviously you're not seeing that happen, but just after the fact to see, yes, he's your grandpa and you have that relationship for the rest of your life, but to do the thing that means the most to all of you guys as a family, which is racing and winning at that just makes this whole thing for you, Ty, I feel like all the more special.
Thank you. Yeah, that just shows how much he has a passion for the race and NASCAR and winning in general. He's so focused and making sure no mistakes and making sure we can do everything we can do to execute the mission and win and accomplish the goal. So he's so focused on like every little detail, which I feel like anybody in life that is an athlete or that's anybody that's doing anything big, being focusing on that one goal is definitely going to get you there. So he's a very disciplined man. He's done a lot, and he's a very hard worker. So it's cool to see him. And my dad's this exact same way, and he's helped me out a lot too in that same situations and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He's been in those, so he's been a big help for that.
And besides all that, I mean, us, we're Washington football team fans, so obviously we cheer for
Oh
him in
yeah,
that respect.
let's go.
Yeah, baby. I got two more for you, Ty, and I'll let you run. I said before the season started that out of the 20 Arkham Menard Series races this year, you were going to win 9. But I feel like I have to rethink that now because seeing what you did in your first damn Xfinity start, and I mean, I know you finished 4th or 3rd, whatever it was at Daytona and ARCA. I mean, we both know the competition in Xfinity is way steeper than it is in ARCA,
Yes,
and you have been killing them in ARCA the past couple years. Should I rethink that number? Are you aiming for the stars here?
you know that's a good question. I don't know how to answer that because I don't know. I feel like we had a great success last year in the races that we won. So hopefully, I think we can definitely win more. I feel like we can win every race if we really give it our best shot, which we do every weekend.
Thank you to it too.
So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun going back and racing with those kids and seeing how different the series and how those guys race. So I don't know. I really don't have an honest answer for that. That's just
That's
one thing.
cool.
Like um maybe we can. Hopefully, we can win all of them. Maybe speed races are probably going to be challenging because we don't
Yeah.
have teams. But uh, we'll go when we go race any other track. I think we've got very good shot every weekend. The guys put in a ton of work, and it's should be a great year.
I mean, you got 19 more, so the worst you can do is
I
19
know.
for 20.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I was going to ask what's next for you in Xfinity, but actually, of this recording, about an hour and 10 or so minutes ago, the rest of your schedule for this year dropped. 14 more races. You're going to be busy, busy,
Yes,
busy.
big year for me for sure. We got a bunch of races on the schedule this year, which is awesome. I can't I'm thankful for that and in the position I am in. And it's gonna be a great year. I'm excited. 14 is gonna be awesome for me and the team. So it's gonna be fun working with Chris Gale and my 54 Monster Energy super team. And I'm just very excited. Like I said, ton of emotions and a lot of overwhelming emotions in the last couple days. So
Yeah.
uh, it's been a great past 2 weeks for sure.
Anywhere you're particularly looking forward to on the next 14 races for Xfinity? I know there's some road courses in there. Martinsville
Yeah,
should be fun
we
too.
got. Phoenix will be. I'm excited for Phoenix. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
you got a
been a
lot of
great track for
experience
me.
there.
I've got a good amount of experience there, and we've had a good. Almost every time we've been there, we've had a shot to win. So it's
Hmm.
I feel like I've got a good amount of laps there, just kind of figure the track out. So I just got to get there and get used to running the Xfinity car turning left only, not right. Maybe right occasionally, but we don't want to turn
Yeah,
right too.
yeah, not too much on ovals.
Unless we're doing
We'll work
burnouts,
on that.
that's it.
That's it. That's the only reason. What, by the way, what
Yeah.
happened? Did you run out of fuel at Daytona? Is that why you
So
couldn't
I
do it?
got so excited that I held the clutch in, and I had like I held the clutch in for so long that when I dropped the gear, and the first gears in like those cars are a little bit higher than I expected, I just like had nothing left in the engine. Like
Ah,
it was just like straight to first gear direct drive. So I definitely everybody told me I need to work on my burnouts, but I've got told not to do too many because if you go back and look at the ARC races, I've smoked it down a couple times.
you have. You have.
Yes. So and then I don't even know. Like I was so excited in that moment that
Yeah.
I don't even like I was just like I could care less what the heck happened after
Oh,
that
yeah.
point. I was stoked.
You will have plenty more opportunities to do so in the Xfinity
Hopefully.
Series this year, and you will do some more in ARCA as well. I'm knocking on wood, but I know it's going to happen. So it'll
Hopefully.
be good. Ty,
Thank
this has
you.
been fun, man. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really happy for you. It's been cool to see your growth personally and as a race car driver. And I know you're super busy this week, so carving out this time for me this week on the pod, it really means a lot to me. And I'll hopefully be talking to you soon. Best of luck in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you, Davey. Thank you for letting me come on, and I definitely enjoyed this show. Hopefully, you guys have a good time listening to this.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.